Forgive us if you can, dear listeners, but it seems to be the Radio Static Show, sponsored by Therapists and Detectives Limited. Just because you're paranoid, it doesn't mean they're not out to get you. We present Transylvania 65000. I had decided that I had had my fill of action and adventure, and so booked myself into a modest hotel in the shadow of the Carpathian Mountains. What a perfectly wonderful day. It was breakfast time in the lobby, and across the room a pair of fangs sat, wrapped in a man's hat. Good morning, sir. How are you? Count, not sir, count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was reaching 10,000 when the waiter arrived. My dear sir, I would like a cup of tea and a loaf of bread, lightly buttered, cooked and served to me once a day over the course of the week. Suddenly I was grabbed by unusually large, powerful hands. Unhand me! What's the meaning of this? This? It's a pronoun used to indicate a person, item, or idea. Egads! Bastille! What are you doing here? Why, Monsieur Riptide, I am here to finish you off once and for all. Come, pipette! Good. Now chain him up. Bastille, look out! A great beast is creeping up behind you! You delirious Englishman. It must be your imagination. It can be. I lost my imagination in East Acton last week. Ah! I was knocked unconscious. When I came to, I was suspended high above a vat of boiling glass, bound in chains. I deduced from the smell of the grease paint and the roar of the lights that I was on some sort of old stage, and that is when Bastille addressed the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. The great escape artist, Colonel Eddie Riptide, will now attempt this death-defying stunt. Little do they know, there is no possible escape for the poor Colonel. A finished plan indeed. Aha. So, my darling public, observe. Drat, how will I get out of this one? With a cackle, Bastille pulled the lever, and I hurtled towards certain death.
Dear listeners, I am so dreadfully sorry for being late. I was hanging the cats out to dry. I promise it will never happen again. As a means of apology, I present you with this excellent number from the ugliest band in the world. Wasn't that lovely? Now, back to our tale. Sorry again.
Luckily, during the rock and roll sounds of the ugliest band in the world, the glass had cooled, hardened, and so I merely smashed into it at 120 miles per hour.
I'll save you. Ah, I see that I too am late. Sorry, I was up all night wetting cats and overslept.
Never mind that now. Get me out of here. The boy scooped me up and we dashed out of the city and took refuge in an old abandoned castle. Abandoned, so it seemed. A full moon tonight, my boy.
I've never seen a full moon before. I normally sneak out during the interval.
We sat for a while and discussed life. Coffin John was the undertaker in town and had been losing business due to the disappearance of the bodies he had been brought.
I've had to stop burying people alive just to earn a crust.
Ah, working for the NHS, I see. We paced the halls of the great castle, and then, suddenly, to my surprise, there came a man. A monstrous man.
Gentlemen, Master requests an audience with you in the dungeon. Master would have you for dinner.
How enchanting. We were led through the ancient halls until we came to a large wooden door. Igor opened it.
Dang, I forgot the keys.
We finally entered to see an impossibly tall and thin man stood behind a snooker cue and playing a theremin.
Master, your guests have arrived.
Oh, thank you, Igor, and stop doing that dreadful Peter Lorre impersonation. And as for you, Riptide, your reputation precedes you. It's all lies. Settle down. Join me, won't you, in the dining room. Igor has prepared us an exquisite feast. This meat is lovely. What do you call it? Eugene. What? I collect organs, you know. What? Hammonds, Cassios, that sort of thing. What? Igor, get your fingers out of the man's ears. I have a boon to ask of you, Colonel. Extrapolate. Blah! When I saw you in the hotel cafe, I had to bring you here, for I knew that you are the greatest theremin player in all the land. Undeniably. And I may have told my friends at the lodge that I will perform for them at the annual Vampire Policeman's Ball. Teach me, and I will reward you handsomely. When is this ball? Ah, the door. Get that, won't you, Igor? The guests started floating in, others crawled, and one came by northern rail. The horror. Coffin John had been told to make refreshments, and had been handed a bucket and a razor blade. I wonder what he'd gotten to. The proceedings opened with the old Draculian favourite.
Goodbye, my Transylvania baby. I'm off to drink some blood, to drink some blood.
The Count had requested that I announce him on, and so I improvised a short introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, ghouls and boys.
Sorry.
Tonight, performing dead, please welcome the Impaler, Vlad Tepes, the Scourge of the Carpathian Mountains, Count Dracula. Thank you. Count Orlok, good to see you. Lucy, you look great. How are the kids? Count Basie, you made it.
Hey, you crazy cat!
And now I will play Symphony in A Positive, accompanied on piano by Alan Highwater.
Oh no, he stopped playing. Why? Has he choked? Igor, fingers! With the Vampire Policeman's Ball a roaring success, I was paid handsomely a 4-speed bicycle, and so pedalled off towards home. Slightly parched from my 1,000-mile journey, I popped into a little jazz bar in Hanover. Dry martini, barkeep. I returned to my table, and after I had finished my 3rd wet martini, made my way back to the family home in Sussex, Skegness.
We join Eddie on what already? And wasn't that a gripping tale, children? Join us next time on
The Radio Static Show! Wait, the torture never stops.